Hello and welcome to this episode of Grant-o-nese Cooking, in which I'm going to teach you how to cook delicious, scrumptious and juicy Longwang prawns.
I'm eating Grant-o-nese, it's delicious. I'm eating Grant-o-nese, it's nutritious.
You may ask yourself, Grant, who is Longwang? Longwang is a famous Chinese god, the Dragon King, the god who can control all dragons no matter where they are, water, air or on the land. A very powerful deity. Now, for this recipe, it's very simple, very quick and very scrumptious. So let's look at the ingredients. What we're going to use, and you can see that I've lightly boiled some prawns to get ready. Some prawns, some rice powder, some Chinese wine, and we're going to make some Chinese tea. I've got some pu'er tea, some oil, an egg white, some iodized salt or some sea salt, and a cup of water. And believe it or not, this time I've got out my trusty wok and portable burner so I can give you more of an authentic cooking experience. The first step in this recipe is just to make a small pot of tea. I'm using pu'er tea. And I'm not going to actually sift out the leaves. I'm going to just add some water, not boiling water. So I've let it boil and let it sit for about 10 minutes. So it's not too hot. And I'm going to let that sit in the pot, curing until I need it. Because I'm going to actually use it in the recipe for a little bit of taste and also a little bit of liquid. So the first thing I'm going to do is just to combine the prawns into a bowl, add in 1 cup of water, give a generous sprinkling of salt to help bring out those seafood flavours, 2 big spoons of rice flour, and mix those up and let it sit for about 10 minutes. I'll also add in maybe just a dash of cooking wine while I'm at it, just to add a bit of zing to it. Not too much because we'll be using some more later for when we actually cook the prawns properly. Let them sit for about 10 minutes to soak in all the flavours, the salt flavour, the wine flavour, and to give rice flour a little bit of time to actually also work through the prawns. So let them sit for about 10 minutes and we'll be right back. It's 5 minutes later and my prawns are soaking very well, and now I'm going to add in the egg white. Just the white of 1 egg, just to thicken it up a little bit before I start to actually cook it. Again, mix it in thoroughly and then let it sit for another 5 minutes. But in the meantime, we're going to start cooking and getting ready for the prawns. So, while the prawns are sitting with the egg white and the rice flour and all the other ingredients, for about another 5 minutes, soaking in all the juices, I'm going to get this wok hot and get it prepped ready for them with a bit of spring onion and a little bit of oil. See, it's nice and hot. We've got it starting to go on. We want to get the oil up. So what we're going to do is put in a little bit of oil just to start off with. I'm using extra virgin. Doesn't matter how much we get in there. Put that there. Now I'm going to add in my spring onion, which I've cut into strips. And the idea is just to give the oil just a little bit of flavour with the onion. We don't want to get the oil too hot. Get it up to bubbling, up to boiling, and then we'll actually back off the heat just a little bit. All we want to do is to get the oil excited and to get the spring onion flavour starting to soak into the oil. Some people, after they finish doing this, actually take out the spring onion, but I actually prefer to leave it in as a bit extra flavour and a little bit of garnish. But what we want is this oil itself to have a oniony taste to it. So do that for about a minute and then stop and go back to the prawns. Now it's time to get busy, folks. Now, I remind you, Grant-o-nese cooking is flavoursome, fast and uncomplicated. So let's finish this dish. So what we're going to do is, remember how I made the pour tea? I'm going to pour some of the tea into the actual prawns itself. Just to give it a little bit of zing to it, a little bit of flavour, a little bit of authenticity. Now, mix that in. Turn on your wok. Now remember, this is going to be quick fire, folks, okay? So, and not, well, hopefully not a quick fire, but we're going to do this quickly. So, I'm going to put the prawns into the wok dish. We're going to stir these very, very quickly, folks. What we want is to try to get it to thicken up. We might even try to get it, it'll take a little while. And you see that it's already starting to thicken. To aid with the thickening, I might even put in just a little bit extra rice flour. Maybe 2 spoons of rice flour. And I'm going to add some more Chinese vinegar. Again, to give it that extra zing. Now we're going to stir this, folks, and you'll see it's starting to thicken up. It's starting to get, oh, it's got a really nice smell to it. It's got a wine, like a wine seafood flavour smell. So it's starting to thicken up very, very nicely. We'll just let this sit for a couple of minutes and we'll come straight back. And look at this. We'll turn the heat off a few minutes later and we've got beautiful, look at this, beautiful prawns with a nice thick sauce to them, cooked through and flavoursome. So now it's the testing time, people. Let's actually have a taste of these prawns. Just let me get some chopsticks, okay? I've got my chopsticks. Now, look at this. Nice and juicy. Nicely cooked prawns. Remember, these can just be a side dish or you can add them to a larger dish, maybe like fried rice or even noodles. So let's have a taste. Let me grab a delicious prawn. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Delicious. Oh, smells so salty and so fishy. A little bit of wine texture to it. Let's have a taste. Oh wow. The flavour has really come out in those prawns. Experiment yourself with how much salt you use and even the different types of wine. I know some people who even cook prawns using beer. So there we have it, folks. Longwang prawns, Grant-o-nese style. Get onto it. Quick, efficient, fast, delicious. Until next time.